Hey everyone, welcome to Jesse's Stories. Thanks so much for being here today. As you can tell, I decided to do a little something different outside to talk about the 7M cult. Since I was in Twin Flames Universe cult, I wanted to, since I started getting really engaged, I watched the docuseries right when it came out, which I thought they did a really good job. But I also agree with the fact that since it is real life, it's hard because you don't know what's happening now behind the scenes. I did hear that their court date is happening in sometime in 2025, so that's exciting. So I'm gonna start talking about the 7M cult. So if you're here for some cult facts or cult dig-ins, this is my own personal opinion from the time I've been in a cult since I was there for almost 4 years. I have some insights. I'm going based off of what I saw in the series. I also follow some places on social media that I'll leave linked below, plus my friend Dr. Lala Lich and things I've learned since getting out. I'm going to cover what I can cover to the best of my knowledge. So if you're here for this, thanks for being here. If you're here for the stories, this is a story. I would love to have maybe some of them on here just to talk about their experience on set, because it would be nice for Survivor to be talking on here on this channel. I personally would like to see it. I don't know if you would like to add to the series of all my different series I have for my stories. Again, thanks so much for being here. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, frenemy, family member, anyone. You're gonna hear a bunch of background noises since I am outside, but I wanted to change up things because I'm like never outside. Okay, so to begin, so Miranda is officially the face. So each docuseries, for some reasons, likes to have a face. You know who the face is for my docuseries, but do keep in mind every person is going through the same thing. Yes, there's always levels, but everyone makes it eventually to that level or close to, such as myself. I made it close to the inner circle, but left before ever fully going in. I was just in training, fun fact, before then. So to go into like Miranda, I love that her family is fighting, just like all the moms and sister in my docuseries Escaping Twin Flames on Netflix, which Netflix is doing great in the docuseries genre. This series is definitely full of, like Sarah Berman said, parents, siblings that understand and have knowledge of what a cult is. And for those that are leaving comments on Miranda's social media or saying anything like she's in a cult, please, please, please try to refrain from doing that. That's going to push her further. You are literally trained. I was trained when I was in Twin Flames Universe. You're trained that that's an illusion, that's part of your spiritual journey. That's literally part of your journey. So it will push her further because it will be proving her leader correct. So if you say anything, make sure it's positive. Please, for the sake of Miranda's family and Miranda's sake, because that's not easy on the other side either. Having those comments, I've been there. I've been where she's been for our many different years of fighting back and the spiritual journey of just Twin Flames. So please consider that and be respectful to the family and Miranda. If you say anything again, just go congratulate her on whatever she says, whatever she posts. She actually had a recent post, which I'm only gonna have the ending part, where she's talking about her family pretty much destroying what they had due to the docuseries, though she was recently at the wedding. I don't know any further details than that, besides that photos were taken. I am following her and others, and they were very professionally done photos. People got her dancing with her mom and sister, so they absolutely are in contact, which that's normal when you are the spotlight and the name of the cult right now. So everything that's happening is normal. Nothing they said in the docuseries was a lie, because they can't lie in a docuseries. They have to have evidence and backup to everything they said in order to even have it on Netflix. It's just per Netflix guidelines and per humane protection of everyone who spoke up guidelines, so everyone knows. And I have the response, so let's check out first what Miranda's had to say. We're not going to watch the whole video, we're just going to see towards the end. Okay, and now we're going to move on to, so the video is just going to come fully on here.
And I have been getting together with my family for the past couple years, privately, to work on our relationship, to make things right, to mend what has been broken. And I've been loving it. I've been loving getting together, laughing, just enjoying each other's company. And this documentary has made it very difficult to continue doing that. And honestly, I think that my parents and my sister have focused so much on this documentary that they've forgotten about working on any relationship with me.
And then the other part is the reply through news, her sister, what she had to say, which I really like what she had to say. She was pointing out, you always have an opportunity in a docuseries, just like Twin Flames Universe had the opportunity to speak on their own behalf, to say anything that we were saying, such as myself in the docuseries. They could have said, no, this is the true facts. They could have said, no, 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 and they could have replied.
When she's saying that we weren't supportive, it was because I was seeing what she wasn't seeing. I was seeing all those red flags. I was seeing that they wanted to, because I wasn't going anymore, they wanted to rip us apart and all those things. It was like, no, 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 that's not going to happen. And sure enough, look where we are. So of course, if she was, wanting to further her spiritual journey in a way that wasn't with someone like Robert Shin, that would be fantastic. But we knew the situation and we're trying to avoid all of this. It's really a hard situation to navigate because here I'm so happy that my sister is getting these opportunities, but I know at the end of the day, she doesn't have control of, everyday life. And there's someone that is controlling everything, and all of that success and money and fame is really given to the pastor of this church, Robert Shin. It's like they're his puppets. And so that's why we chose to speak out, is because we didn't want this to happen to other people.
Just like Miranda and the rest of them could have done the same, including Robert, the leader. I've never heard of a Robert leader. I just think of Bob when I hear the name Robert. Anyway, they have opportunities. Every docu-series you see, at least on Netflix, I can only speak to Netflix, both parties always have the opportunity to talk. They never don't. So on the other side, when they're cults, they're absolutely going to say, no, we never da-da-da. It was so one-sided. That's how Twin Flames Universe started too. This feels like a repeat with 7M cults, dance cults, that they're doing the same thing. And it's true. Cults can be everywhere. They can be in dance, they can be in yoga, they can be everywhere. I really like that there was a sister story in the 7M cult. I would love to talk to one of the sisters. The one I felt most drawn to. I follow her. I think I follow them both. I don't know. I just know I will be reaching out to some of them just to see if they want to talk on here or are able to, considering the circumstance. So don't look forward to anything. I'm not making any promises, but I would love to have them on here just to tell their story, to tell how it was on set, if they're allowed to everything. It could add to some more behind the scenes, but instead of the 7M cults, I would love that and appreciate that as a fellow ex-member of a cult. But anyway, to continue, it's normal for a woman who's in a cult, who is the face of the cult right now. So Miranda absolutely is the face of the cult right now because they mainly focused. And here's more background notes that I have to wait for. Thanks for your patience, guys. Okay, we are good for the most part to continue. So it's normal for each docuseries to choose a face, like Indian Oxenbird and was the face of, at least, what was it, HBO's story, which are the same directors and editors, and well, same director and editor, so Cecilia and Ball, as for ours. She was his chosen face for that one. And then Sarah Edmondson was the chosen face for The Vow or Amazons. So there's always a chosen face, yet they were in different sections. So Sarah Edmondson is closer to like Keeley, for example, because of where she was. So she was closer to the inner circle than India was. I'm closer to India's role in cults because I read both of their beautiful, which I'll also leave links to their stories below. They're beautifully written bios. Well, memories of being in a cult. I'm also writing one right now, which I will let you know when that happens. Right now I'm super focused on videos, so I'm not as far as I'd like to be, but I'm working on it. But Miranda is the chosen face, and with being the chosen face, she's still in it. All of these people are out of it that were chosen faces. So there's a difference too. There's higher standards and more strictness. So there is a lot more going on for Miranda. I've seen on TikTok people look at the fact that she's not looking directly at the camera. She's looking up and to the side. Of course, she's being fed what to say. When you're in a cult, you're fed what to say. And the fact you're in the public eye, there's more to feed you and there's more to do. And the fact she's taking a break is because the heat is on Robert right now. It's so on. But that's also not great for her either, because that means the heat is on for her too. So please keep that in mind when you're on social media, checking her out or staying up to date on what's going on with her or her sister, which I would love to talk to her sister too. She seems pretty cool and pretty strong with how she replied in the previous video of her replying and saying they had the opportunity to say yes or no, because you're supposed to have that opportunity. So that's pretty important to me. So the 7M, it's interesting since Robert supplies a home and everything else, but then they pay every penny that they make pretty much to him. So there's not like an equal anything, and they work like slaves, at least of what I've seen. And whether there's tears, I couldn't really fully tell by the docuseries if there was full tears in it. It seemed like everyone was there dancing, following their dreams. But I noticed the die for is similar to, I should say the unalive for is similar to love yourself. So love yourself can absolutely be toxic. Absolutely, if it's used in the wrong way or taught in the wrong way. So Twin Flames Universe teaches it in the wrong way. There's others that teach it in the wrong way. It's because of the mirror exercise. So taking what's already existed and turning it toxic. And the die for it or die for your parents because she hasn't let go. That's why these things are happening. That idea of dying for something to follow your dreams, because Miranda's ultimately following her dreams. I'm an artist too. I can get where she's coming from with that of give up everything. I did give up everything when I was in Twin Flames Universe. I have to stop for a moment. It's gonna get loud again. Okay. I did give up everything when I was in Twin Flames Universe. I eventually let go of my friends, my family. I was alone. It felt alone because eventually Twin Flames Universe let go of me too, due to financial reasons, because I couldn't give them anymore. But I'll go more in that in my own story, not on here. You'll get little bits and pieces of everything, and even of my neurodivergence too. You'll get that too. But Miranda, she has a dream. She wants to be a famous dancer. Right now, she's a famous TikTok dancer. She does, in fact, well, I can't fully speak for her, but it seems like she does feel like it's because of Robert that she's where she is, which in reality, she's not. You were taught in the cult. Like, if I got a promotion, I thought it was because of Jeff and Shalia. It's the same idea. Your brain is so wired and taught. And I'm going to use a controversial term, brainwash, because it's the truth, the coercion of brainwashing happens. Your brain no longer can think logically, or yourself at least, not without the leader's help, or a coach's help. In this case, they have coaches too in 7M Cult. And I like that Miranda's family was the key fighter in the story. And I like the two sisters' story in the docuseries. They're very strong women. I hope they can work out anything. If not, that's okay. That's understandable. They went through hell and back twice in the cult, and just their family relationship. Yeah. And I love the woman. I wish I could know her name. I think Alex. Yeah, Alex, who ended up getting her own dancing company. So there is positive sides. I'm working on my company too. You still get positive sides. I'm following my dreams and doing this YouTube channel. You're going to hear me go off rant, so hopefully if you like this content, you'll like my random rants too. But I am going to focus mainly on Miranda because she is the face of it all right now, but she is still in it. And I'm going to continue that comparison of the fact she's in it. All the other docuseries I can think of, they were out of it, including ours. They were out of it. The ones that are still in it, they didn't really, besides some images and some video of them, have that. In Miranda's, it was a bunch of video. It was a bunch of this, to the point that she had to make a public statement. And yes, one of ours, which I don't want to say names, and I don't want to put spotlight on her or her family, in respect to them and our docuseries, to our families and their daughters. But I know one made a statement through a blog. So there are statements, but that's only time that there's ever statements is heat on them. I'm focusing on the family and Miranda right now. Why I'm doing this is because putting the spotlight on anything other than that isn't great. Like, why give Robert more than he already has? He doesn't need any more spotlight. It's why I don't really try to put the spotlight on Jeff or Shelia. I bring them up quickly and move on, because putting the spotlight on the leader, they want that. They like that. They love that so much. You even heard a quote from Robert pretty much saying that it's great that they love us, that any negative or positive, which is the same thing, like Jeff and Shelia said all the time, that, oh, it's because they want us. It's because they love us so much that we're getting both negative and positive feedback. Like, they love negative feedback. They loved it when I was in it. I wouldn't think that would have changed too much now, but I could be wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. So same thing for Robert. Putting on the pressure on him, putting the negativity on him still is going to hurt those that are within there, such as Miranda. That's why she had that statement. And you can say she was lying at some points. I feel that personally, having been in a cult, that some of the stuff she said was fed to her, and some of the stuff she said she might personally feel is true and real right now in the moment. These are things that aren't always considered. And maybe when she has a clearer thought and is truly out of it and following her dreams still and dancing, I hope she follows her dreams no matter what. I hope she gets out of the cult. And I hope she gets continuous positive feedback. Like, even Sarah Edmondson in a news interview, if I can find it, I'll leave a little quick clip to what she said, that, yeah, right now we should be giving positive feedback to Miranda, nothing negative. Even her family, at least of what I've seen, they haven't commented or anything on her posts. I've seen a mixture of comments from negative, which, please do your best to reframe that, or at least report the negative ones for the sake of Miranda. I feel for her, so that's why I'm very empathetic towards her. I was in a cult too, and I'm empathetic towards her family, and I hope only the best for them, and I'm glad they're in contact with her, and I'm glad that the docuseries brought up the fact that the only reason why it's happening is for Robert's sake, which is true. Only time Jeff and Shelia would ever, which this isn't out there, that information, the only time they would ever have people reach out to families, or families more part of the community, is when the heat was on them. If you look to see timeline-wise, after our docuseries, they did a whole post, which I think they still have it on their website, of people with their families and so on and so forth, and that they have some people that are a part of it, but some families have been brainwashed. So there are reasons why that you see this. It's when the heat is on the leaders. And yeah, I thought they did a really great job. I'd like to have some of them on here. I will be reaching out to some of them. This is mainly just me wanting to go on a rant to talk about it. Like, Robert shows all the signs of a authoritarian leader. He also shows his power through essaying people in other ways. So he's shown his power, but he owns in a house, which is similar to Nexium. I feel like the house concept is similar to Nexium's concepts, at least from India and Oxenberg's point of view. When I read her book, Still Learning, which she has a podcast too, Still Learning. And who else can I compare them to? Well, a lot of what they say is a lot of what Robert said in the docuseries itself, Jeff and Shelia have said in their own ways too. And they are the way. When anyone says they are the way, that's a huge red flag. If they're the only way, even if it's a office job and someone says that, if it's your boss that says that, that's a red flag. Literally, corporate America, cult. Yeah, there's red flags everywhere. So if you just think of the cult as a stereotypical one, I'm glad 7M cult TikTok wise came out. It's showing how diverse and widespread cults can be. It can be online. Twin Flames Universe was online. There was another one in the past that was online. I can't think of his name as well known. His name is there. I think it's something Applegate might have been it. There was another online cult leader who claimed to be the second coming, who was online. This was in the 90s, before the 2000s. And on top of that, every cult leader in general copies off of other cult leaders. Jeff and Shelia fully copy off of, Keith Raniere. And they clearly also watch docuseries too. And any of their followers probably aren't watching it and will claim they're watching it. Maybe some of them do get a chance to watch it. I hope they do watch some docuseries. Doesn't matter which one they watch, just a docuseries. It's helpful to awakening for some. In my case, my awakening was very different, which I can leave the video up here of that, of my 3-step process of awakening. But everyone eventually awakens. It's scary for those that stay in. So Miranda, if you're watching, which would be cool if you were, not a guarantee you are, or family-wise, if you're watching, cool. I'd love to just talk and hang, just to talk, if you're willing to. If not, that's okay too. Miranda, if you stay, you go down with them, sadly. So those who are still in a cult, like Alex Mack, she's the only one I can think of. I might have said her name wrong, from Nexium. She went down with the leader. She stayed. She stayed even to the point of their arrest. Well, his arrest, their arrest. It was two, as a male and a female. So it's kind of heartbreaking thinking of that too. Those who are out, at least we have back our autonomy, which is great to have that back. Me being queer, even though I have my autonomy back, there's still a lot being taken away in America. And yeah, my heart goes out to Miranda and her family. And Miranda, you have a pretty cool sister. Gotta say, pretty awesome. And the fact that she's still fighting for you and she's still dancing too. I hope to see you two both dancing again someday. Together, whether it's on TikTok, social media, or not, or in private. That would be cool. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please watch all the series. I have a queer series. There's going to be multiple series, and I explained in one of my Pokemon card openings what to expect for this channel, what I'm working on. I'll also leave a link to my other channel. I haven't done any videos yet for that. I'll be working behind the scenes on some of those videos. Thanks so much for being here. My goal is to make it to the partners program. And in order to do that, I got to get above 1,000. So please share with family, friends, like, subscribe. Thanks so much for being here. If you have any ideas too, leave comments. I will be reaching out to people. I'm going to continue doing interviews to hear other people's stories of all kinds. I'd like specifically this cult to just talk to some of the ex-members and family members, or the behind the scenes if they want to talk about it or are allowed to talk about it. Putting that out there again publicly. They can reach me if they choose to, but I'm more likely to reach out to them. But if they do reach out to me, that'd be awesome too. I'm open, I'm ready. Or if there's other people from other cults that would like to just talk about their experience, you can do that on here too. Or if 7M, anyone here from the docuseries watching, which would be cool too. I'd love to have you on here. You can check out my behind the scenes of Escaping Twin Flames docuseries, talking to all the people behind the scenes. I have talked to Keely, who was on there, but it wasn't part of the behind the scenes. And there is another ex-member that will be coming on eventually for the behind the scenes. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. Embrace your truth, tell your story. You have a story to tell. I have a story to tell. Thanks so much for being here. Love you guys. Peace.